We recently did a video for the Alpharex Nova Series headlights, which fit the 2018 through 2023 Mustang. The first comment everybody made, what about the 15 through 17? Well, don't worry, Alpharex has you guys covered as well. They offer a Nova Series projector that'll fit the 15 through 17, along with the S550 GT350 and GT500. And today we're going to show you how to install them. Now, if you didn't see the first video, these are the Alpharex projection headlights fitting your S550 Mustang. This particular set is for your 15 through 17, but they'll also fit all S550 GT350s and GT500s. First thing you look, you get kind of an S650 vibe with the cube style projectors. Those projectors are actually patented by Alpharex, and they call them their ice cube projectors. And let me tell you, they give a ton of light output and a very, very sharp line. In addition to that, these actually have a very customizable setup. Up here, you're going to see a DRL LED. Well, you can choose to have it either amber or white, and it'll also be a sequential for your turn signal. Now, the headlights shown here are going to be the gloss black background, but you also have the option of a matte black. So again, very, very high-end light, and the best part about these, they are direct plug-and-play replacement for your factory headlights. So on any S550 Mustang, to remove the headlight housing, you got to pull off the front bumper. So the first thing you're going to do on your GT or EcoBoost is take off the cover. In the case of the Shelbys, they have the composite front ends, they don't have the cover. We can go right to these screws that hold the bumper to the radiator support. You're going to have 6 of these screws across the front. And then you have 2 more on the ends. You got to pull up on the weather strip that's hidden behind it. 2 little tiny guys. All right, now we're underneath the car. We're going to unbolt the belly pan. Now on the GT, the belly pan will just be in the front, same with the EcoBoost. On the Shelby, it does have a longer belly pan, but the removal is the same. You remove all the screws, and then go to the sides and remove the push pins. So now we're down in the wheel well. Now if you're working on a GT or an EcoBoost, you can leave the wheel on. There's a couple clips right here, and you can pull back the splash shield and get to the bolts up here. In the case of the Shelby, because of the unique fenders, they have unique splash shields. These splash shields are actually a heavier plastic, so basically you have to remove the entire splash shield to be able to get to that bolt. Now way underneath here, this is just going to be for the Shelbys. I'll remove these 2 clips for the brake cooling. Don't forget there's one tricky one kind of right out here on the fender. Now the last 3 in the back you can leave out, because at this point we've got enough play. I can sort of pop it off the fender. And we can get up to the screw. Now that's the screw you have to remove. Very hard to see. Obviously, if you put my hands in, you won't be able to see it, but it's a 7mm. Usually a small ratchet is the easiest way to get it out. All right, now we can separate the fender from the bumper. Now this is an area you want to be really, really careful. 15 through 17 and all Shelbys are going to be this way. Basically, there's a piece of plastic, urethane I should say, that comes off the bumper that sort of fits in between those 2 panels. Removing that screw will allow it to come out, but it's still kind of a press fit. So you gotta be careful, because if you rip that piece off, you're gonna lose the mounting point for the bumper. That's why a lot of people put like the quick latches on the side, because this does break easily, so just be very careful. This is to kind of sort of shimmy it a little. And it'll pop out. So now that our bumper cover is separated from our fender, you're gonna repeat the process over on the driver's side, and we're ready to remove our bumper cover. All right, at this point, only these little alignment dowels are holding the bumper on, but it is still plugged into the marker light. So we're gonna basically carefully lift up. I'm gonna reach down and unplug. So after removing the bumper cover, we're finally down to our headlight. The headlights are held in by 3 bolts, a 13 on the side here, and then a 10mm on the front and a 10mm on the bottom. There's a little clip holding it on. Give it a little shimmy. It'll pop off. And pull it down and unplug it. On the headlight harness, make sure this metal clip stayed with this clip so it can go on. Now we can prep the Alpharex headlight for installation. You see this little yellow wire here. This is going to connect to this included harness. Basically, this is going to plug right in. Line it up. And then this will connect between the marker light harness and the marker light. What that's going to do is going to power the sequential turn signals inside our Alpharex headlights. Now, I mentioned earlier you have your choice of the DRL. It's configurable to either be all amber or all white. Now, if you like the white DRL, which is kind of the factory look, then at this point, basically skip this step, you're ready to install. If you prefer the amber look, remove these 4 screws, and we have to fix the harness inside. Get these 4 screws removed. Basically carefully pull up on this. You'll see this white harness right here. You connect these 2 plugs together, that'll give you the amber DRL. If you don't connect them, it's gonna stay white. I kind of dig the amber look, so I'm gonna connect them, and again, that'll make the DRLs amber. And put this back together. Before we install the headlight, install the plug. And that little metal clip goes right here, keeps the harness out of the way. We're ready to install the headlight. Line up the tab on the side here, line up the tab up top. We're gonna put 1 bolt in just to hold it while we test it. So to test it, just grab your keys. As soon as you disarm the car, the Alpharex lights will go through a pretty cool startup mode, and again, it'll turn our DRL to that amber color. And now if you choose the white DRL, it's gonna look like this. And again, it stays white. Personally, like I said, I kind of prefer the amber look. I think it's a different look. I'm used to the white, so we're gonna stick with amber. Okay, once we test everything now, we can reinstall all 3 mounting screws. Then we'll repeat the process on the other side. All right, so now that both headlights are installed, we're ready to reinstall our bumper. First though, you want to connect the marker light harness included by Alpharex. What you're going to do is unplug your marker light, plug the harness into your factory plug, and plug the other side into the marker light. And then don't forget to connect this harness back to the factory harness down here when you're putting the bumper back into place. All right, now we're gonna lift the bumper into place. Now remember, when you do this, you have to plug the marker lights back in, and you'll definitely want a second set of hands for this because it's tough to kind of do everything at once. All right, now when you put the bumper in, make sure this edge goes over the headlights, and then line this up over on the side. Pop it in place. So the bumper in place now, we're going to reinstall the screws that hold the fender to the bumper, and then start reinstalling all the hardware for the splash shields. All right, once the bumper's bolted down, your installation's finished. These Alpharex Nova Series lights add an awesome look to the front of my Shelby GT350, and the light output when they're turned on is absolutely amazing. As far as the install goes, you do have to remove your bumper. Give yourself about 2 to 3 hours or so. You'll be back on the road in no time.